man. You're just
just so you know, Zeph, just so you know, there's a lot of people in here, right? And we know a lot of people that are like in the military and all that shit and have a lot of rifle experience. So like we had this conversation
or not, accounting or not.
5.
Zero your weapon, right? But then you're going to do test shots, right? So when you shoot 1,000 meters, what's your shot group spread?
Generally like 2.5 inches at 1,000.
At 3.5?
Right around like 2.5.
So your correction is half of the
Right
spread?
around.
Yeah, so your uncertainty is double your precision, dude. That doesn't make any sense why you would have to do it.
Yep.
It's the way I was taught.
You never factor it in.
Well, you're
Yeah, there you go. Oh, no, everyone stop. No, everyone stop. Please stop and no one speak. He said the truth. That's what I was taught, and that's why I do it. Correct. You win the prize. That's the only reason you do it.
welcome to the globe.
Oh, fair enough.
No, wait. Welcome to Flat Earth.
I was about to say,
Well,
what
we
you
answered
talking
your
about, buddy?
question on why do you have to do it. The reason you have to do it is you feel compelled to do it because that's how you were taught.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me ask this next question. Have you ever done a systematic day of shooting where you decided to get your shot grouping and determine whether or not accounting or not accounting for the Coriolis affected your group? Have you ever done that?
Honestly, I can't say I have.
Right. So then if that's the case, and we know you're already agreed that you're doing it because you were taught, then you actually have no knowledge of that Coriolis is affecting anything, correct?
Yeah, suppose so.
Fair enough. I'm glad. Now, everyone stop for a second. Thanks for being honest, bro.
You're welcome.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for being honest, bro.
Yeah, you're welcome there.
You're-
I don't see a reason to fucking lie.
Yeah, man.
Just so you know, Zeph, just so you know, there's a lot of people in here, right? And we know a lot of people that are like in the military and all that shit and have a lot of rifle experience. So like we had this conversation a lot of times, my guys. So,
Hundreds and hundreds.
yeah, so trust me. What you think you know? Yeah.
What you were taught is correct. What you know.
Did you know that the Coriolis is supposed to be the Earth spinning out from underneath your bullet?
Yes, it's the Earth. Or at least the way I was taught is it's the Earth is spinning underneath my bullet. The bullet's suspended in the air. The target is technically moving.
Yeah. The bullet leaves the rotating reference frame, enters the non-inertial reference frame, and is somehow magically separated from the Earth. But the air, with hot air balloons and airplanes and all that shit, that doesn't affect that. It's only like bullets. But nobody can say at what velocity do you have to go where the Coriolis actually starts working, right? Say, well, in an airplane, there's no Coriolis effect because it moves, the atmosphere rotates with the Earth and the plane is in the atmosphere and it just goes along with it. Well, the bullet's in the atmosphere. Why doesn't it go along with the atmosphere in the rotating reference frame? Nobody can say at what point the Coriolis effect takes place. Is it the velocity? Is it the how heavy the object is? I can't say. Is it the drag? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Why does it affect this object and not that object?
I mean, let me see what the fuck most velocity or something like 6.5 PRC is.
So the alleged tables basically say you count. I can't remember
Yeah,
which, but
it's like
4 centimeters left. Yeah, just 1 second. It's 3,000 feet. Sorry, 3 centimeters. Sorry, 4 centimeters left in the north, 4 centimeters right in the south, and they just have that ubiquitous rule of thumb, right? So if that's the case, that doesn't seem congruent with any kind of claim that the Earth is a globe. It just seems congruent with there's something going on in the Earth that's actually planar, and then has a counter after a certain level. But either way, it doesn't matter because there's no like tangible evidence that this is really effective. So no matter what, you don't end up with there's a globe.
40 millimeters to the left, 40 millimeters to the right. That's it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, over what distance?
3,000.
Well, 1,000.
Like 1,000 meters, so like 3,000 feet.
Yeah, insignificant. Are you guys using? Are you using?
It'd be like 3,000. It'd be like 3,300 something.
Yeah, so you're using a Kestrel or what ballistic calculator?
I use one I programmed on the Pi.
Yeah, so basically insignificant in comparison to every other calculation, which is drastically significant. Most people honestly agree with that it's basically insignificant over that range.
Well, I like the fact that somebody was comparing airplane flights, and everything, all these other things, helicopters, hot air balloons, that don't account for it. I thought that was interesting. Thanks, Indio.
Yeah.
But a shooter has to account for it. Come on. There's no airline pilot.
We accounted for the do, distance, elevation, and wind. All I heard during sniper school was do the do. We only accounted for the distance of the object of the target, elevation in relation to the target, and the wind. That's
And
it.
the wind. Do.
Now, other question be, why was there no pictures of the ice wall?
Oh shit!
Mongo.
Because the ice wall's a globe idea, so I guess if there's no pictures of it, then it's no globe, right?
Wow.
The ice wall comes from early Southern Ocean explorers. It doesn't come from flat earthers.
Oh, it doesn't?
No. If you look at old maps, it'll say Great Ice Barrier and all that shit.
So, what do you guys believe is on the edge of the Earth, then?
What do you believe is on the edge of your universe?
No. We can't just shift off into fucking La La Land.
Do you think that we think the Earth is a disk in space?
It's good. It's a good question. I like it.
Well, do you?
So if I keep walking, will I eventually fall off of it?
You gonna answer my question? Do you think that we think the Earth is a disk in space?
Yeah.
We don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I do know where you got the idea. You've been propagandized.
Damn. Edward
No
Bernard.
flat earther thinks that, dude. No, we don't think we're the third disk from the sun, bro.
Well, I guess it'd be more correct to like explode into pleroma or something, but
Not within anything.
so what exactly do you believe?
The definition of belief is to think something without evidence. So we don't believe things. We're looking for validation, verification, things that we can measure, observe, and measure, and verify.
Belief is the enemy of knowing shit.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
So in that case, what do you know the Earth to be?
Well,
Stationary.
We know the water's not curving.
Okay.
Ain't no bendy water.
see, Earth versus globe is a simple thing to figure out which one it is. Because either the surface of the Earth is curving or it's not. It either is or it isn't. And if it's not curving, it can't be a ball. It's literally that simple.
Then if it's a flat object, would a flat object have an edge?
I said the Earth isn't within anything, so it's not an object. Is the universe inside something?
Oh. It could be.
There you go.
And what? And then what would that be called?
It could be inside of a simulation. Could be inside of a black hole. Who knows?
And then what's a black hole inside?
Another universe.
What's that inside? You see
Another
where I'm
black
going with
hole
this?
ad infinitum.
Yeah, it's an infinite regression fallacy. So no matter what our answer is, you can just say what's outside of that.
It's okay, Indio. It's speculation Sunday, right?
It is for me.
Oh yeah, go ahead. It's inside of heaven, which is inside of hell, which is inside of heaven.
Right.
I'm just fucking with you, Indio.
I love that picture of the two planes upside down. One's upside down. I love that, man. It's when the Australian plane meets the American plane. Oh, that's awesome. Damn, I never seen that one.
So do you
You know,
think
the
the map as we know it is in a side of something larger and we're only allowed to go within that bounds? Or do you think it's just what we have is what we have?
We don't have evidence. That's what we don't have. We don't have evidence of any edge or any boundary or anything like that.
So do you think we get to like
if you
one
think that
side of it, you just
you keep
teleport to the
making
other
it an
side of it?
object in your mind, dude. Like, listen, dude, you're not in a third-person shooter. You're not seeing the whole world from outside yourself, looking at it as like some schematic drawing. That's not how you experience the world. You can't even see the world that way, technically. You're thinking of the world like it's a blueprint, right? Like you're looking at a blueprint, some engineering drawing that represents the Earth. It's not how you experience the world. You experience the world from within it. Right? You're in a first-person shooter. Why do you think there's an underneath or there's an edge or any of these boundaries that you don't experience? You experience them with discrete objects outside your visual world, but you don't see them there within the Earth. But eventually there's going to have to be something that's not within anything else.
That makes sense.
It does make total sense.
The Earth is not within anything else. It's not a discrete object. There's no evidence it's a discrete object. And you got to think about this with the globe, right? Technically, that's like an infinite surface. You could walk forever in a direction and never stop, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that an infinite surface?
I mean, by the same logic, any ball is an infinite surface.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah,
an infinite flat Earth, that's ridiculous. You're like, but an infinite ball isn't?
Yep, that's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
But whether the Earth is finite or infinite, it doesn't change whether it's flat or globe. That doesn't answer the question.
Right.
Because flat Earth, like finite size, infinite size, is not a necessary condition for flat or globe. It's just not necessary. The only thing that's necessary is the topology of the surface. Is the surface curving or is it not? That's it. It's the only question that needs to be answered.
You said
they've tried to convince you. Hold on. Topology. So they've tried to convince you in school that the figure of the Earth is a very complicated question that only like a bunch of fucking super smart people can figure out. On the other hand, you're dumb if you don't believe it, but don't inquire because you're never going to figure it out yourself because you have to be super smart. Here's some equations on a chalkboard. Just trust this, bro.
Yeah.
But it's a simple question. It's not a complicated math problem. It's not a complicated geometry problem. It's super fucking simple. Is the Earth curving or isn't it?
It's too simple, Indio. It's too simple. That makes it like, come on. It has to be more complicated.
The Earth is flat. You're all fucking stupid. It's actually a Rubik's Cube. Dude, guys, can I draw you a diagram? The Earth is a Rubik's Cube, and that's why the gravity fields, when we transfer across the edge.
You can fuck off. Yeah, thanks.
Do you think celestial objects are real or existent?
Absolutely, man. I mean,
yeah, we see them.
Look up. We can check them out. Yep. Something.
Okay.
What? Can we land on them? Like grow trees, fly airplanes on them? No, ain't nothing like that.
Yeah, what are they?
No.
Yeah, it's very common, Zeph, for newbies to come in here and go, "Oh, look in the sky," and say the Earth is round. I mean,
the Earth has trees. The sky has trees. Therefore, Earth has trees. Therefore, we live in the sky with other trees. No, it doesn't. No, nobody ever said that. Just me.
Not quite what I was saying. I've heard some people say that they're projections.
Don't know. I never heard that.
Yeah. I heard some weird shit from a guy at the gas station once. Doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Right, that was just why you were in the bathroom.
Oh, hey.
Did you get my number on the wall?
For a good time call. Yeah. For a good time, join this server.
You sure you heard a flat earther say the stars are projections, or did you hear a globe earther just claiming flat earthers claim stars are projections?
There you go.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also spoken to Hollow Earthers, so I may be confusing the details there.
Okay.
Well, there's this thing where people say, or they think that because we say we don't believe that stars are gas fucking thermonuclear reactions and that planets are land in the sky, that we're saying that they're fake or they don't exist. They exist. They're not fake. We can see them. There's no evidence they're the things that they say they are, that they're thermonuclear reactions, that it's a big rock in the sky, that it's terra firma you can go walk around on. Those things are speculations. No, honestly, do you think anyone's going to actually know for 100% certain what a star is, what it's made out of, what its composition is?
I mean, I guess you'd get a decent idea by looking at radiological data, but other than that, no.
No, but actually, no. I'm not talking about believe, right? So you can look at the data and you can believe a whole bunch of shit, but without an actual physical fucking sample of the star, you can't know what its composition is, right?
No,
How many photographs I got to take of you to know I know you're made of blood and bone, bro?
And make a inference.
Well, yeah, inference, which it's not knowledge. Inference ain't knowledge.
No.
It's guesswork. You're guessing.
And that's why they will call it a theory.
There you go.
Okay, cool, but what I'm saying is no one will ever know for certain what the star is made of. Never. Not maybe in a little while. Never.
Ever.
No, there's no way to collect a sampling if you could get to it.
Exactly.
Well, in the globe paradigm, dude, like the closest star, it would take you like 150,000 years to get there.
Traveling at 100,000 miles an hour. If you're traveling at light speed, it would only take you 26 years.
Yeah, and then you got to come back.
Oh, shit. There's another 26 years. Oh, my goodness. The closest one, 26 years. If you were traveling at the speed of light, 186.
Well, 26 years for you, but when you got back, they'd be like 5,000 years old or something.
Well, yeah, they'd be dead, and it would be a totally different world. But that's according to, some theory.
So why don't
I like sci-fi books. I like sci-fi books where they launch the people, right, and they go into hibernation, and they get to the planet, and like they invented some other technology, and there's other people that got there before them. What the fuck took you so long?
What took you so long, Mongos? Come on, you guys, a bunch of retards. What the hell happened? Yeah, like I said earlier, man, belief's the enemy of knowing shit. And
yeah,
modernity. Like that?
Go ahead, Doug. Sorry, Tito.
Just this one I asked that guy, why don't they teach it like it's just a, quote, theory? Like, why don't they say, well, we're not sure, but we think, we're probably on the right track, and we think they're this and that. Like, this is our best guess. They don't. They just teach it like it's a matter of fact.
Fact.
So, I mean, to be fair, I can't even prove that the world is under my feet.
Wait, whoa. Brain in a jar? You can't go there, bro. Don't.
Oh, no. What I mean is,
how do you? You can't prove
there is anything outside of my brain.
Wait, dude, you can't go outside and stick your toes in the sand. You don't know you're walking in sand.
What I'm saying is, I can't prove that I'm not just a brain in a jar hallucinating.
Well, that's ridiculous, bro.
I mean, how so? I can only rely on my sensory organs, which
so you don't want to trust your own senses, okay? You're a senses denier. I get it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
you're denying your own senses, dude. Is fire? Let me ask you this, bro. Is fire hot? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying.
Dude, that maybe you could say, well, I don't know if fire. I've heard this excuse from people, man. You're like, I don't know that the fire's really hot, but it feels hot, but I don't really know it. It could be a brain in a jar. You can't go there, man. Don't step into that bullshit reality, man.
You don't actually believe it anyway. Like, No one that actually does that actually acts like that's true. They're always in a performative contradiction.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe it. It was a thought experiment of sorts.
Well, I mean, it's
What I mean
easy to
say
prove
is-
that it's wrong because it leads to a contradiction. That worldview is contradictory by nature.
I've got a philosophical notation on that worldview, and that's this. Everybody always says a brain in a jar. They assume that they need a brain to have a consciousness. Why do you need physicality at all? What you should say is, I don't even know if I'm a disembodied consciousness. That's actually highbrow thinking. A brain in a
that would
jar
be
is a
more correct.
lowbrow version. Yeah, so from now on,
Why do you need a jar
challenge
either?
you. Yes, you don't need a jar. You don't need a brain. Exactly.
Say that again in AI one more time. Clarification.
You don't need a jar. You don't need a brain. If you're going to be just a consciousness experiencing, then just be a consciousness experiencing. Why do you need anything physical?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say is I can't prove that I'm not just an isolated consciousness imagining my own reality.
Welcome
There's
to
no physical way for me to prove that. I'm not.
well, fire's hot.
Right. So you just proved there's no way to disprove God. Because if you were what you just said, then you'd be the source of all reality, and a disembodied consciousness would make you God by any classical definition. So basically, what you're telling us is you're not sure whether you're God or not. Oh, that's a very interesting quandary you got going on there.
So also the Earth could be flat equally too. Then
So
Damn.
here's
Yes,
the
it could
problem
be.
with all that. Let's say you're a disembodied consciousness. These distinctions are created in your disembodied consciousness. Whether they're in your consciousness or not, you create a distinction. This is external. This is internal. They do exist, even if they are in a disembodied consciousness. You said, hey, these things, this is what I define as physical. And these other things, this is what I define as mental. And you're experiencing them within this disembodied consciousness. So they exist. There is an external world, even if it's contained within your own consciousness, because you've defined it to be.
Yes.
Yeah, so the whole, it's a contradictory argument. It can't work. It leads to infinite regress.
why do people always do this? They always distract flat Earth to this bullshit. Why do I?
Right?
Because, dude, if my reality can't be a globe, I'm just blowing up reality itself.
I know, it's ridiculous. It just can't be flat. So we got to go into this shit.
Can't be flat. It can't be
It's
flat.
not that I have an issue with it being flat. It very well could be.
Stationary. Flat and stationary.
You know one thing, Zeph?
Let's just go this way. It's all you've ever known. You've believed something else. But as far as experiential reality, this external world that not very sure of, that's all you've ever actually known. Is a flat, motionless Earth. It's all you've ever perceived the Earth to be.
Fair.
And one thing, Zeph, you've never asked what measurements we've ever measured the Earth to be flat. I thought that's interesting because he never even asked, like, hey.
They never do. I'm just here to learn, but I don't care how you figured it out.
Yeah, they never ask.
Well, I'll have you figure it out then. I remember reading something about lasers.
Switching subjects? Are we?
No, I mean the laser test is just a direct measurement, right? But there's multiple laser tests done multiple times in multiple places. But there's other things. There's radar. There's microwave. There's long distance observations.
There's Marconi, 10,000.
Yeah, the radio waves, right? Or you can look at like the Bolivian salt flats and the symmetry of the reflection, right? So on a curved surface, you get distorted reflections. The Bolivian salt flat shows a perfectly symmetrical reflection. According to the globe math, it should be distorted. It should be distorted in a seventh of a